tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Oh yes, we are back. Supernatural is back. Demon Dean is here. We only saw his black eyes once tonight, though. I am Tom Connolly. I was about to say my other nickname, but not on this show. And it is Supernatural Season 10, Episode 1. Sitting across from me, you saw her last season, Lyndsey Wegner. How you doing, Lyndsey?
I'm doing great, Tom. I'm so excited to be back. So excited for our YouTube fans. Erica Lorraine, Tom Valentine on Twitter, Mercedes, all of our fans that have always writing to us and kept us busy this off season. So excited to be back and talking to you guys with new co-hosts.
We have new people with us. You guys are watching on YouTube. Sitting next to Lyndsey, Mikaela Phillips. How you doing, Mikaela?
Hey guys, I'm doing really well, thank you. I'm just glad to be here, and I can't wait for this season of Supernatural, and we've got a good episode here to talk about, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Back at it.
Yes, and sitting next to me, Katie Campbell. How you doing, Katie?
Hi, I am good. I'm excited to be here on Supernatural after show.
Awesome. We're glad you guys are here. And Pat Benatar is still playing us in, which is good. It was a good long song to play us in, which we saw at the top of the the recap of everything, which they always do. Wrapping everything from last season up, keeping us up to date. But so now let's start talking about, before we get into the good stuff, the Dean, Sam, Crowley, all that kind of stuff. Let's talk about, actually, I have a question for you guys. If you guys could describe this episode in one word, how would you describe it?
That's a good question.
Okay, anyone jump in there? I'm
trying to think of a great how you can describe that in one word.
I would say surprising.
Okay.
Yeah, because we have a new character.
Yeah.
Who has some kind of vengeance against Dean. So it is surprising. There's something going on. It's kind of setting it up for the season.
And I suppose it is surprising to actually see Sam going after Dean, because usually it's Dean going after
the other way around.
Yeah.
So this is, we knew that this was going to happen, that he was going to try and find him.
But it seems like he hasn't found him in months. It's been like a whole 6 months since Dean has left. So
they kind of progress on. You see the 4 weeks later come up, and how much further is the 4 weeks later from what they've already been searching. Like you're saying, 6 months.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely.
You guys have a word?
I like
you can come back to it later.
I like surprising. Surprising is a good one.
We're settled on surprising.
Gotcha. That works. Okay, so let's talk about Cass, who we find out is now, he's losing his grace. He's dying. Hannah comes to visit him. We find out that there's basically no order in heaven still. Metatron's still locked up. He hasn't been back, obviously. I don't think he has the power to go back. That's my guess of why he hasn't gone back there. And there was two angels that were going rogue. Now I guess there's probably more than two, but we've only found out about these two, Daniel and Adina, and they killed another angel when he came to come pick them up. So what do you guys think of Cass? Losing his grace.
It's crazy. It's Castiel. He's been in the seasons for so long in the series, and it's you're seeing him in a completely new, different light, and you're like, Cass can't die. So there's gonna have to be something to obviously save him, I'm guessing, or restore that grace that he's losing.
He's always been a very selfless person, so taking somebody else's grace isn't something that he's gonna do unless that person's evil or unless it's really gonna benefit him. And at the end of the day, he needs to, because like we said, he's dying. There is no other option, and it's getting close, and that's how kind of Hannah is pushing him, especially with these two, with Daniel and Adina, not knowing how they're going to react to them and seeing the kind of showdown that happens there.
Yeah.
Right. I feel bad for him that he's coughing, and he's, like you said, he doesn't want to just take someone else's grace like that. So he's kind of, you know, she'll be like, are you okay? And he says, I'm fine, because he doesn't want to take an angel's grace like that.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of interesting when we see the scenes with Hannah and Cass, the whole episode, they're kind of, she's saying, you know, we need to restore this, and he's just, I don't know, he's like, he sees Daniel and Adina's point about the humanity and the choices, because he was a human for a bit of time.
Yeah.
That makes sense, yeah.
Which I think is good. I mean, he out of all the angels, he's the only one that has had that point of view. I mean, I guess all the other ones that have fallen, but he kind of just, because he had so much power, so much over the years, that, you know, he can just reason with them. And when, you know, when they do find them at that kind of just like
campfire by the river's edge.
Yeah, and it seemed like, you know, things were going okay, like they always do. Things are always fine. And then Adina showed up and kind of just ruined the party.
But, I mean, Hannah pointed out earlier she felt like Daniel was taunting them. So she had pulled the blade earlier. So we knew there was going to, at some point, be some sort of, like I said, showdown happening. And obviously when Adina shows up.
in the works there, definitely.
Exactly. So I was surprised to see him kill Daniel, but Daniel was going to kill Hannah, so there was no choice. There was no.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting. I thought they were gonna. It was gonna reveal somebody else, not another angel that was kind of with them, you know, watching over them.
Right.
Not Cass to just be like, okay, I'll just kill this guy. And like, you're like, I don't want to kill anybody. And then 2 seconds later, he's like,
taken his grace.
He killed him because he was protecting Hannah, so it was kind of like he had to. So why didn't he just take the grace
instead?
Because when Adina cut him, it looked like he lost even more.
Absolutely, because he's gonna have to heal now from that, and he can't heal himself.
Right.
Yeah, and I wasn't sure if they were gonna. I thought he was gonna take Hannah's at first, because when her arm got cut, I thought, you know, maybe he's gonna take it that way, but that didn't happen. So, but I mean, it sucks for Cass. Hopefully, he, you know, he's gonna have to find, like we said, he's gonna have to find a way to get some kind of grace back into him. And I don't. Did Metatron take his, right? If we.
Like,
yes. Yeah. Wait. Okay. So why can't they just take it? Why don't they just take
already.
Metatron's? Like he's.
Well, like they said, Metatron's up there locked, safely locked away. Thank goodness.
For now.
I hope we see him sometime this season, because he's a really good character.
I'm sure
Absolutely.
they will. Yeah.
But so then let's get to the new BFFs in town, Crowley and Dean.
I love this relationship.
That was really good.
I do too.
I love it.
Yeah, that phone call was awesome. But it was, you know, Dean is, you know, Demon Dean, you know, back to his old tricks of, you know, getting drunk and sleeping with girls.
When we got a shirtless scene, guys. I know I was talking about this last season, saying, give us something, give us a little bit something, and we finally got a shirtless scene.
They were screaming in the trailer. I couldn't stop them. They were like, pause it, but no.
These are good-looking guys, and they deserve to be appreciated.
It's true. What would Supernatural be without Dean and Sam? And it doesn't hurt, they're really super good looking.
Yes. Okay. Very attractive, work hard for their bodies, so props. Very happy. Thank you, writers.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure we'll see more of that as the season goes on.
Yeah, touching back on that subject of Dean and Crowley, I think I've always loved the relationship of Crowley with the Winchester brothers in any sense that they've always put him in. The comments, always. But having them two together in that way is definitely showing them in a whole new light, I feel. And I actually think it's a really good storyline. I don't know if now, like, since Dean's left, we see him leave at the end of the episode, if that means Dean and Crowley will, you know, get back together in another town. But I'm definitely looking forward to seeing where the characters go. Yeah, I agree with you. I think with Crowley, he can just snap anywhere, so it's not. That's true. He doesn't really need a car. No. So I think they'll eventually meet up where where he goes next. I think he has a tracker on Dean. I'm sure he does. We obviously know that they've been in that town for a while, too, because he's made friends with this woman who actually does care about him a little bit, because she does stop him from drinking. And in Dakota, I think it was. And knows that she's got this ex-boyfriend who maybe hurt her, and she's impressed by the fact that he kind of protected her, but then saw the beyond the protection. Because he just beat the crap out of that guy. To go to a whole new level. Not stop.
she knows something's wrong because of that. And I got upset when I know he's Deanman now, but I got upset when he said that. He kind of called her a skank indirectly. Put a little mad face in my mouth.
I don't think that was indirectly. I think it was like...
It was straight up calling her out.
That really made me upset.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, what she said was very... of what he, like, kind of what Dean is now. She was like, I thought you were the good guy.
She called him
out, but
you
really are the bad guy now. Like, I just thought you were a good guy all along.
All around, yeah.
But I felt bad for the female response saying, I'm going to somehow justify in my mind that I deserve that.
Yeah.
No. Ladies. Come on, no.
It's true.
We don't deserve
respect.
That. Yeah, respect. I mean, and obviously he's, like we said, he's Deanman, so it's a different level of that. Like she said earlier,
Dean to like then that other level. Like Dean has his areas and stuff like that, and how he'll play around. But it definitely, I feel what you're saying takes it to a new level.
And the first comment, even where he said, I'm moving around, like I'm not going to be here. She's like, you could have said that differently.
But that's Dean now, so I guess we're gonna have to deal with that.
But maybe we're gonna have to start to love the new Dean.
I'm not gonna want to see your shirtless scenes, Dean.
Do you guys think they could make you really hate his character at all?
No.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah,
I don't know about as far as hate.
I would love to dislike him for the person that he becomes. I would love that because then he's taking it to a new level.
But not truly hate him. No,
Yeah.
never.
I think if that did happen also, like if we did end up turning kind of like that and hating him, I think it would bring back like if Dean does return, it would make us feel a whole new lot different towards his character, and maybe like the writers want to play on that or something. I'm not too sure, but it would definitely have us then swooning back over, Dean's back. You know what I mean?
I was more upset, let me know what you guys think, with his comments on the phone with Cole, the guy that kind of kidnapped Sam and was like, I'm going to slit his throat. I was more upset by those comments and him saying that he got himself into this mess, and so he told him to leave me alone. So if you got to do it, then what you got to do, it's in his hands.
It's his problem now.
I was more upset by Dean talking like that about Sam than I was about the girl, because girls come in and out. Sam is his brother.
Right, and this is what drives the whole show, is this brotherly relationship, So that upset me too.
And we've never seen that side of him to just be like, he's like, no meetups, no trades. He's like, but somewhere down the road, I'm going to find you and I'm going to kill you. Saying it to that guy, just being like, you can kill Sam or do whatever you want to him. But I'm so, like, it was part of Dean, but then part of the demon at the same time, because he was saying, I don't care about my brother, but if you do hurt him, I am going to hurt you.
And he's a man of his word.
So,
Yes, I remember that really, like, stuck in my head when he said that. And I was like, that's, Dean is a Sam of his word. A man of his word.
Where does Sam go if he gets killed? I mean, would he be able to meet up with Dean then?
See, I don't think he's going to kill him. I don't think that man's going to kill him because he wants to use Sam maybe to track Dean. He's going to use him to his advantage because his end game is Dean, and he's going to get back for whatever Dean did to this man.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll get to that predictions at the end.
Okay.
But no, it's fine. No, it's good. Yeah,
we're just so excited.
But yeah, so the Crowley-Dean relationship is off to kind of a rocky start, though. Later in the episode, where we find out that Dean's been killing these Abaddon cronies that have been following them.
Groupies, yes.
And then we find out that Crowley was the one sending them after Dean to keep him sharp and keep him ready, but he didn't really. He kind of told him the end game of what they wanted to have. Like, he's like, you're by my side. We can create the perfect hell, and the party can still go on, but we can still. I think it's smart of Crowley to have Dean on his side, because he knows, Dean wants that balance, or that if you're bad, you should go to hell. But I don't know. I'm trying to think how I want to explain it, but Dean will have the balance of being like, well, that person wasn't that bad, so maybe they should get a chance to redeem themselves.
So like kind of validating it.
Yes, because Crowley's just like, I don't care, you're going to hell. Like, he just wants those demons and those souls in hell. But Dean will be the kind of voice of reason.
Maybe.
That's why he went after what was his name?
Matt?
Drew Neely?
Oh, Drew Neely.
The guy in Wisconsin.
Killed?
But I feel like that guy was trying to kill Dean.
Yeah, it was in self-defense.
Yeah, like I think he was one of the groupies.
Yes.
But didn't they say that he killed his family?
No, he killed his family, or he left. He's from Ohio, and they found him, dead in Wisconsin because 3 years ago he killed his wife and his kids, and then that, is obviously the time that he was possessed.
Yeah.
So now he's Abaddon's follower, a groupie.
Okay.
So then Crowley sent him to go, attack Dean, who killed him out of self-defense. And anybody that's coming to Dean now, he's going to freak out as a demon and, like, go crazy.
Yeah. And still deserve to die for killing wife and family. I think at the end of the day, Dean still has that knowledge of right and wrong, and knowing that was wrong to have to, like, I mean, obviously he's going to defend himself, but then to kill him.
Do you think he knew that though?
No, I think he just wanted he was going to kill that guy because
he's got so much rage now.
Yeah.
That's true.
I don't know. I thought that he was doing it out of knowing that he did bad things.
No, because I think he just knew he was a demon anyway. Still. Well, he was in there looking for porn. Yeah. He was the porn guy.
The porn guy, yeah.
I love that guy. The guy that works.
The guy hilarious.
So
I thought he was hilarious, yeah.
Yeah, he was really funny. I hope we see him. That guy. He was like, what? I'm trying to think. I wrote down what he said. He was just like...
He was like, say my name. Yeah. Say my name. Say my name.
Yeah, and then he was like, here's this dead guy's phone if you're taking it, back to the office. And then, he's like, well, what did he say after... When he came in, and he's like, where's the porn? And he's like, well, what did he say when he left? He was like... I don't think did he say anything, or did he just like...
I don't think he said anything, right?
No, but Dean did pick up the
He made it a priority to pick that up.
Yeah. He said he didn't fill out a field report.
Yeah, because
he said he just killed someone 10 feet away from him. He wasn't really worried about it.
Yeah. But I thought it was a funny little scene, a good little character.
That's what I love about Supernatural, how they add that humor to any episode. Like there's all this craziness going on with the brothers or with Crowley or whatever the situation ever is. And in this episode, I think that humor was much needed, and we loved it. So I'm sure everyone else loved it who was watching as well.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Katie and I watched, and did you watch the special too?
Yeah, last night. Yeah,
okay.
The recap. Yeah.
We watched the special last night. I don't know if you guys did, if the viewers did, but we watched the special last night talking about with Eric Kripke was talking, and Jensen and Jared and Misha were all like talking about certain parts of the show and what they loved. And Eric Kripke actually talked about some of the episodes that he hated and why he hated them, saying that he hated Wendigo. And he wrote it, there were no twists and turns, and he just said it was really, really bad. And he also said he hated bugs. Because
is that the one with the bees?
With the bees. Okay. Because apparently the beekeeper told them that they were docile bees. But like as soon as the bees started coming out, everyone started whacking them, and they actually never even showed up on film, so they had to put CGI bees in anyway. So he goes, everyone was getting stung, so it was this horrible thing. But they said they loved adding in the humor as well in some of their favorite super funny episodes. And Dean's multiple deaths and mystery spotlight, Groundhog Day, and there were just some really, really cool.
And there was the other episode I think they highlighted where Dean, he's like got some
yellow fever.
That's it. And he's always the scream. Seeing Jensen Ackles scream like that, this big burly guy, priceless. I definitely think.
It was a neat little special to see, so if you guys didn't catch it, try and check it out.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out.
Definitely.
I didn't get a chance.
It was good, they recapped all the way up from season 1 all the way up to now, so it was really good.
Yeah. Because I think everyone needs a refresher,
It doesn't
There's been a lot of stuff. It's 10 seasons. There's a lot of stuff that has happened over the years. But then, so what do we think of Sam now being on his own in this whole, mess?
Well, they opened up with the first scene of, this episode was that he's kind of dark in a way. I mean, he's trying to find his brother. And what I think is very interesting is that last season, Dean, when it was found out that Dean put an angel into Sam was like, I wouldn't have done the same for you. But when you take the situation and Dean being a demon now, he is going after him and he's not going to give up. Even though Dean's saying, Sammy, let me go, he's not going to give up. And he's kind of become a little dark. He was kind of torturing this girl for information.
Yeah. Yeah, and it wasn't just it was a regular knife blade, not the, one that they used to kill everybody, so... And I thought when he was kind of draining her of the blood, I thought he was going to... I thought he was drinking blood again. And I was like, wow, you're just going to jump right into... I was like, first off, we got to deal with Dean being a demon, and he's drinking demon blood again.
Why was he catching her blood like that?
Because he wanted her to make a... Because how they use the blood to call other demons?
Right.
That's what he wanted her to do. Yeah. But first I was like, wow. I was like, this is gonna be a crazy season.
You're like, what are we in for?
Yeah, because even with her saying like, oh, I can't believe a Winchester, you know, it's one of us now. You know, and they made it seem like you're gonna see Dean, but then you saw Sam.
But he didn't find out that Dean was a demon until he saw the police surveillance.
Yeah.
That was his first moment of realizing it, was because he was hitting the space bar to kind of see each frame in that surveillance when Dean kills it. And obviously you can tell, knows that it's Dean right away. But then you see the demon eyes, and it, I mean, crazy moment, just takes you back. Like we said when we watched the recap, I was sitting there, I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm going to see this again. You know, we all know that it happened. But to find that out and know that's why he's missing.
Yeah.
I think for Sam makes it 10 times worse.
And him not know. Well, first he just thought it was a demon. He just thought, you know, Dean was dead and there was some random demon in his body. But now he finds out that it's actually Dean inside when he talks to Crowley finally on the phone. And that just, you know, you know, he said, you know, Dean was alive because of the blade and the mark.
And the mark, yeah.
So it's like this, I don't know. How does Sam, you know, get the mark and the blade away from Dean?
Yeah,
again, like
basically, how can it be removed?
Exactly, because when he got the mark from Kane, like he had to give it to him. So
doesn't it kill him?
If he
takes off the mark?
I think so, because that's what I mean. Well, we never really saw that.
Did they really touch that subject too much? No. Like, there's always like an in and an out. I feel with this kind of stuff on like these kind of shows. So maybe someone who gave it has to somehow withdraw it, like someone of that same like height of what they are. Like demon, whatever it is.
I think what they were saying is that what would have killed Dean is the fact that he had the mark and he didn't have the sword and he was. It was too much. But I don't know necessarily if they were to take the mark off. But I think they have to wait for another set of brothers.
That's interesting.
To pass it on to.
That's cool. I like that
Cain and
theory.
Abel. Yeah. Sam and Dean.
Oh,
so.
I really like that. That's cool.
Yeah, I do think he has to give the mark because Cain had to give him that mark. So, you know, and he didn't really even want to give it up. Cain didn't want to give it up to Dean at the time. So.
Wait, so does that mean there's going to be 2 more other hot brothers? Like, can I just say that? Is that what we're in store for, maybe?
Maybe that's how this season ends.
4 hot brothers.
We get another 10 years of, you know.
That's the spinoff.
Yeah.
There you go.
Just a new family. But yeah, so Sam's kind of, you know, he's the loner in this, and then we see him get captured by the
Cole guy.
Like the hunter, yeah.
Yeah, is he a hunter? I was thinking, I put that down. I was like, hunter? Like, he kind of touched the subject.
Yeah.
Sam asked him. And he was like, so you're a hunter? He kind of just, you know, just let it, yeah, sure, you can call me that.
Because he had a family.
He's got a family, and there's obviously an issue that happened with Dean earlier. That there's a reason that he's going after him. And like you said, he had all this weird ammo and artillery.
So it was like, is he in the military? Is he not? Is he...
They did have a photo of him. Yeah.
Oh, he was in the military.
Up on the wall. So I think that's going to be actually a really interesting character that might develop. Hopefully, maybe a few episodes. Don't know what will happen, but
yeah.
He said you can call me a hunter if you consider that hunting Dean.
That's what he said. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it'll be cool. I think hopefully it'll be a good like big reveal of actually what he is.
And surprise us.
Yeah. But yeah, so then at the end, Sam's captured. You know, this guy says he's gonna kill him. Dean says, "I don't care. Go ahead, kill him. I don't need him anymore. Or I told him to let me go." So we'll see. I guess what happens next week with Sam on that end of it. And then let's just talk about Dean a little more of. You know, the karaoke.
I was going to say, when are we going to talk about him karaoke?
Oh my gosh.
He was getting booed every time.
Well, it wasn't good.
Okay. But
the first song was okay.
The first song wasn't too bad. I mean, you expect people to sing I'm Too Sexy.
Right.
And just not be good at it. But the second one, you can't sing it. You can't be really, really bad. I mean, I host karaoke. So you can't, like, sing karaoke and be really bad and then sing a slow song. It just like hurts.
Well, it seemed like he was the only one doing it.
Even if he's that good looking. right?
He needs a duet with him.
Well, he just needs to have fun with it.
With him.
If he had fun with it and was like dancing and like doing all this stuff.
He kind of was.
But like getting into it and singing to a girl, like then I can see like fans
like
not being
serenade.
Like a serenade.
Right.
But because he was just like sitting there singing this horribly sad song about your imaginary lover, I mean.
Well, he was like, I don't know, so many shots deep at that point. So
yeah, definitely not sober.
But yeah, and then, you know,
all the shots.
Yeah, he was drinking like crazy. He was surprisingly not eating cheeseburgers, bacon cheeseburgers. So we haven't really seen him. We haven't seen him eat anything.
Or pie.
Yeah, exactly.
Dean's known for his pie.
Yeah. Yeah, so we haven't seen him eat anything yet, which is, I mean,
maybe that's a good subject to bring up. Maybe what he doesn't eat now as a demon.
Well, because I think that was the whole thing last season of when Crowley knew that he switched,
right?
Because he ordered that burger and then he's like, "Do you want to eat it?" He's like, "Oh no, I don't want
hungry,
it." Yeah, so I think that was the whole like big thing of
there's no more eating now that he's a demon.
Well,
and then has the mark of Cain and.
Well, speaking of eating, maybe it's no more eating actual food, but it's eating something else.
Oh, prediction.
Yeah, that could be. Yeah, that could be good. He could be.
I mean, who knows? I could go anywhere with that.
And then Dean. We talked about the phone call at the end. Just him, you know.
But even the phone call with Crowley and Sam.
They had that little fallout too.
Yeah, that little fallout right there, and
with Moose,
Moose having the conversation, and then Crowley telling Dean about it and saying we kind of need to go. We've been here for a while, and we should go and rule hell together. But Dean was like, "I'm having fun here. I don't need to leave. What's the point in leaving?" Yeah,
so we're gonna you told me we were gonna go howl at the moon, and there was no expiration date on that, so that's what I'm doing. Which is, you know, he really, that was all he kind of told him at the beginning. I mean, we don't know, maybe we'll see like flashbacks of the last couple weeks or months of them just, you know, doing whatever. Or maybe they've been in this town that long. I don't know. It seems like a long time for them to be in one town.
Place, yeah.
I think they've been there though, especially with Dean having that relationship with Anne-Marie, the waitress, you know?
More
than been there.
Yeah, I guess more than him being there for a week or so, and him like hooking up with her or whatever, and just being like, "Oh yeah, I'm only gonna be here for a little bit." But I like when Crowley was telling him that, you know, everything he's done for him, he's like, it's been a favor and a gift to Dean, not like a curse or anything like that.
I love Crowley.
Yeah.
I love to hate him, but I love to love him, you know.
He's like one of those perfect characters, like you're saying, like you love to hate, but you hate to love at the same time.
He could get a spin-off show, and I would watch that.
Yeah, I would too.
I would love to see if they, you know, go back in time or something. I don't know, before. But yeah, Crowley is. I think he's got to be like my favorite. I think my favorite character, just because every time he's on screen, you're like, all right, what is he gonna say? What is he gonna do to make me laugh?
Great lines.
Yeah,
one-liners.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm sure the writers love to write for him because you're just like, you can just say anything, and like, you know, he has the accent and everything, and just works. Like, he can just say whatever he wants. But yeah, and then they kind of had a falling out with him and Crowley. And then we see Dean leaving by himself, you know, driving to, I guess, the next town. He's gonna go find some skanking, and I don't know what he's gonna do. But yeah, and that's how it kind of ended. And I thought it was harsh of him to just be like, you know, I'm a man of my word, and you know, I just don't care about him anymore. Like, I told him to let me go. So it's kind of sad for Sam.
Yeah, it definitely shows the brothers in a whole new light. I mean, we know they've gone through so much together, but that's like one of the reasons why everyone loves how close they are for brothers. And they would literally die for each other, which I think at one point Sam did say that he would be willing to go that far and die for Dean to be able to save him. So I'm looking forward to seeing where Sam's character goes, how he's going to deal with all this, and how he's actually going to bring, I guess, Dean back or remove the mark. What do you guys think with Sam?
I'm excited to see that too. I just want to say as well that when Dean was saying he doesn't care, I feel like there was a look in his eyes that he does a little bit, because there's still part of him there caring. I don't know. Did you guys see that?
I agree with you 100%, because, I mean, like we've said, Dean is always the one to save Sammy and go after him and find him and make sure that he's okay. That's why he put the angel in, you know, he had the angel come and be in Sam's body last year, was because he wanted him to come back and be around. And so this is a total juxtaposition to have this completely different side where it is the opposite way. Sam's actually going after Dean when he's usually said, just leave me alone, let me be.
Right.
And now Dean's saying, Sammy, let me go.
Right.
But I know, I agree with you, because I still think, that's why I still think there's the goodness in him and the knowing what's right and wrong, and knowing, okay, he knows like that Cole, that military guy, isn't going to kill him. There's got to be some sort of leverage there. So this is his way of kind of keeping it and saying, I don't care, and knowing nothing's going to happen. He's safe.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. But I also think with Dean, you know, putting the body, or putting, you know, the angel in Sam, that was Dean being, you know,
selfish.
Yeah, selfish himself, and being like, well, no, I can't live without him.
Right.
I need him around. And then once everything came around with the mark, like, Dean was like, no, I'm taking this, like. And he was, you know, being very selfish for himself a lot last season, and kind of letting Sam suffer with having the angel in him and all that other kind of stuff. So I think it's interesting to see now it is interesting him saying, you know, let me go, when other seasons before, when, you know, Sam has died or Dean has died or whatever, you know, they've died at the end of like every season, you know, Sam did go off and had, you know, when even Crowley said it before, he's like, oh, I thought you hit a dog. When he had that, you know, he was with that girl, you know, he hit the dog. Was that last season? Or the season before?
Last season?
Was
it tonight?
Was it last season?
It was last season.
But I think, okay, whenever Sam was kind of like with that girl, and, you know, he kind of, you know, gave her that ultimatum of like, you know, do you want to go with me? You want to stay, kind of thing. Now we are seeing the flip side of all that kind of stuff, which is, I think it'll be a very interesting season. Do you guys have any predictions?
Let's do our predictions.
Where do we start?
Do you want me to start?
Now,
Yeah, you can start.
Okay.
AfterBuzz TV predictions.
So, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that Dina's going to stay in hell with Crowley. He's going to rule over hell. Eventually, he's going to get to the point where he wants to be there, and that's where he's going to settle. And something's going to happen that Sam has to die, and he's going to send Sam to heaven.
Oh wow, that's a big projection.
That's I mean, this is prediction for the, you know, the length of the season and what's going to happen by the end, that we have to like get to that point kind of last year where how we had to get to the point where Dean became a demon. Like that's what we're going to kind of do. Castiel is going to obviously get his grace back at some point and rule over heaven with the help of Sam.
I slightly agree with that, perhaps.
I'm passing it on.
Pass it on. I actually haven't given it I've given it thought, but I think you actually touched like a really good subject there with Sam and Cass. They've always like worked with each other, Winchester brothers and Castiel. My only question would be is if Sam knows Cass's situation, because they kind of had that phone call, but he didn't really touch the subject. He was kind of just, you know, like, oh, I need you for this, or can you help? And, you know, Cass is on the other line just coughing and coughing. But it wasn't actually touched between the two of them as to like how Cass is going or feeling. So I definitely feel like that might come as a surprise, or, you know, Sam will later on find that out. And I definitely feel he might be part of what helps bring Cass back that grace and restores him back into heaven. So I slightly agree. I agree with that. I just don't know how that will happen around. Yeah, I think that'll be interesting.
I think going off what you said, I think he's just more concerned about Dean right now. That's why he's just kind of pushing that whole thing off to the side. I think that we're going to see the struggle between the brothers. I also think that we're going to see more of Anne-Marie being a love interest. I think she's going to be in the season more. I think she's going to be a main character.
Really?
Yeah, I do. Because especially with the fact that he said, will you come with me? He's like, let's get out of town, because he knew he was going to leave because of what Crowley said. Like, Sam's obviously coming. So he asked her to come with. I think that there's going to be more of her. And I also think that it's going to be interesting to see what happens to Castiel. I think he's going to get weaker and something's going to I to have to make a big decision about getting his grace. So.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're all good. I thought Anne-Marie was going to be a demon. Because it seemed like when she was like, oh, hi, crowd. Like, she knew his name. Yeah. I was just kind of like, that's kind of weird that she knows his name. But I guess they have been there for months, so she does, you know, they're at that bar all the time. My one prediction is I think that Cole guy is going to be someone that Dean tortured when he was in hell for those, like, 40 years, or however long he was there for when he was sent there. And he, you know, I think he's going to be a demon that got out, you know, now is coming back for revenge on Dean. That's my own prediction.
That's actually a really good prediction. With that, I remember you mentioned that like just before. With Dean, like perhaps he doesn't actually even recall that he might have done something to that Cole, because Cole knows that they have a history. Now we know they have a history, but does Dean have any recollection of that at all?
It seemed like he did, because I think he said like he doesn't want to. He never wanted to talk about it. Yeah. Right? Is that what?
Right.
Like before
he didn't want to talk about it.
Yeah. So I think he maybe when the guy finally tells him his name, because he said, "Oh, this is karma." Like he didn't really give him his name yet, so that'll kind of really drive it home.
There'll be an episode about what happened there. Full, I think, episode explaining exactly what had happened during that time. I guarantee we'll get that at some point.
Definitely including those flashbacks too. I definitely think.
I think that's a good prediction too, because Sam said, "Don't go after Dean. He's a monster," and he said he was a monster many moons ago.
Yeah.
So that's the time that Dean said, "I don't want to talk about," but he did say he did some things that were not great.
I mean, he said it because he was there for like 40 years. Yeah. So he was torturing people for I don't know how many days there are now. But I don't know if it's the same, but I mean, for 40 years he was doing that. So there's a lot of people he probably crossed paths with down there that have now made their way back out. But I think that kind of wraps us up for this week.
I think that does.
Lyndsey, where can they find you?
You guys can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Lyndsey Wegner. That's LYNDSEYWEGNER, all one word.
Hey, you guys, you can find me on Twitter at Mickey_Phillips. That's MIKI_Phillips. And on Instagram at Mikaela Phillips.
Awesome.
You can find me on Twitter at Katie Campbell. That's Katie with 3 E's. And Instagram at Katie Campbell 13.
Awesome. And you guys can find me on Twitter at TomTheCom. And you can check me out tomorrow night doing main event here at 10 o'clock. And we'll see you guys next week for episode 2 of season 10.
Bye.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.